Welcome to Connected, episode 477. Today's show is brought to you by Masterclass, Notion, and Oracle. I am your welcomer, Myke Hurley, and I would like to welcome Federico Viticci. Welcome, Federico.
I feel very welcome. Hi, Myke.
I want to make everyone feel welcome. That's what I'm going for today.
I felt a really warm welcome from you today, so thank you.
Can you do this for Stephen? Can you welcome him?
Benvenuto, Stephen.
Hola, senor.
To the show.
Do you know what we have no idea what he said to you.
I said welcome.
No, but that's what you say. You said welcome. We don't know what you said.
Oh, sure, okay.
You know, you could have said anything.
Fair enough. I cursed at Stephen at the beginning of the show.
You put a hex on him.
No, not again.
A plague on your house.
I was laughing, Myke, because there was like a little bit of hesitation as if you forgot what show you were announcing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot how to do it. I just started.
You're like, welcome to...
I don't think I've ever said welcome at all. Well, because I also had... The hesitation was me looking for the episode number. But I don't know why I said welcome. But that's what you got.
It's different every time.
It's different every time.
Do you guys ever forget or like have to think for a second about how old you are?
Yes. Myke got it wrong on a podcast once.
And then someone wrote in to correct me.
Yeah, we had follow-up.
Best follow-up of all time. That is an unbeatable follow-up, right? That someone writes in to tell you how old you are.
Did they tell you like you're actually 34?
Yeah, it was that. It's like Mike's whatever old it was. Like Mike's actually 33 or whatever like that.
Vaguely.
Friend of the show, Rob, wrote in with that great follow-up. My favorite piece of follow-up ever. But I will give you another piece of follow-up that I enjoyed. It came from many people. Many people sent it in to me. I think I saw it first from Keegan, because I was talking last week about reading comics at night and I wanted my iPad to be less bright. There is an accessibility setting called Reduce White Point. This is available in Settings, Accessibility, Display and Text Size, Reduce White Point. And when you turn this on, you can make the screen go incredibly dim. And there's actually like a slider for how dim you want it to be. I then set this to my triple click accessibility shortcut on the home, or like the lock button. And I also put it in Control Center where you can have the accessibility shortcut in Control Center too. And so now at night, I can make my iPad go super dim. I know at some point I'm going to forget that I turned this on and I'm going to think my iPad's broken. But that is a problem for the future.
I know you don't have a whole scientific lab there to measure the nits, but is it like a noticeable difference?
It's just one nit.
Oh, just the
if you
one.
can believe it. Yep, one nit.
It's like when Apple said the Apple Watch screen go to 1 hertz or whatever they said.
Yeah, 1 hertz. Everybody 1 hertz. No, it's incredibly dim. Like really, really dim. Like it makes a huge difference how much further you can bring it down with the reduced white point. I recommend that you try it. Like on a device just to see what it looks like if you do have this thing. But yeah, this has solved my problem. And I could tell that this was going to work because so many people wrote in to tell me about it. Mm-hmm. So like it's a thing that's gotten out there in the community somehow. And now here on the Connected program, I'm helping to perpetuate this information amongst the listeners.
We have some real-time follow-up. Kate,
okay.
The official historian of Relay FM, says Myke has started 2 episodes of Connected with Welcome before today, episodes 9 and 11.
Oh.
How can Kate know this?
I think we're an underscores thing where you can search for things we've talked about. Pod search or whatever he calls it.
So you could just search the word welcome, I guess, and it would come up.
Interesting.
Or Kate just like stop time, listen to every episode, and then confirmed with us.
They said, I know things. That's kind of menacing.
It's a lot of power to just give one person, you know?
It really is.
That's why we only have one historian, because otherwise they get together and you can't handle that.
Or maybe there was some sort of historian death battle and Kate just came out victorious.
We actually legally can't talk about how the historian was picked.
Okay.
Stephen, I hope that you're stocking up or have stocked up already because Apple stopped selling OS X Lion and OS X Mountain Lion installers from the Apple online store.
No.
Up until a week ago, they were still selling them.
No, what am I going to do now?
From 2011.
Yeah, they got rid of all the Lennon releases of macOS X.
Mountain Lion was the one that they released by surprise, right?
They announced it by surprise.
Yeah.
Like Gruber and some other people had like a press meeting. They're like, Mountain Lion's here.
Oh, was that like in the briefings in a hotel room or something like?
Yes, Daring Fireball Mountain.
It was the
Lion.
one where John Gruber wrote about it and then was told not to do that anymore, I think is how the law goes. Like he wrote an
About the
article
behind the scenes.
about the briefing.
Yeah.
And I think was told never do that again.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to talk about like the... But that was actually maybe the more interesting part. I remember where I was when this news broke because it was like such a wild day. I was still working at the bank. I was in a particular part of the job that I hated during that time. And yeah, I remember that. It was very exciting. And that's all I've got for you
Yes.
on that one.
Lion, as I'm sure everyone remembers, was sold digitally in the Mac App Store. And it was the one Craig Federighi was young and nervous and like his hand was shaking on the trackpad, all that business. But you could also get it on a USB installer. Well, I dug mine out. I have my USB installer in its little carrying case right here.
Plug it in.
And Mountain Lion was only in the App Store. But this is not as big of a deal as it seems because in 2021, Apple made Lion and Mountain Lion and a bunch of other old OSs available for free to download. So
Right.
you can still get them. Don't worry.
I'm worried.
Don't worry.
I'm worried. Because at any point they could just change
two
it.
not great releases, really, Lion and Mountain Lion, but that's okay.
Isn't Mountain Lion like the one that everybody fantasizes about though?
Snow Leopard is the
Where-
one everyone
Snow Leopard. That's
gets
the
all hot and bothered
one.
over.
That's the one. No new features, but there were loads of new
There were,
features.
yes, some massive new features in
Grand Central
Snow
Dispatch.
Leopard. Lion and Mountain Lion were linen-y, right? Linen UI everywhere.
Linen-y.
And
Linen-y.
they brought a bunch of the iCloud stuff, so like reminders and notes. And
No, Stephen, it's lion, not linen. What did you say? Linen? Like lion.
They were linen-y
No.
releases, covered in linen.
Lion.
Linen-esque. OS 10 Mountain Linen.
Oh, it's then linen.
Yeah, OS 10
Mountain
Linen.
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 Mountain linen. Linen.
The accent's coming out.
Linen. The linen.
Oh, interesting. That USB key was one of those weird, like half USBs, right?
It's just exposed contacts. Oh, it's like
Yeah.
a piece of plastic with 3 little contacts on it. It seems like the most fragile thing ever.
Can you plug it in right now into your computer?
Yeah, plug it in.
It's
Plug it in.
sealed.
Come on.
Plug
do
it in.
Plug it in.
Plug it in. Unseal it and plug it in.
Plug it in and try to
Come
install
on.
Lion on Apple
See
Silicon.
what happens.
I think I have an unsealed one. Hang on.
He has more than one. And also, do you get this?
Okay, I found it. Hang on.
He won't unseal it. Like it's somehow important to keep the Mountain Lion installer in a sealed box.
Yeah.
Why is that important to you?
I have no
Lion.
idea.
OS 10 Lion. Mac OS 10 version 10.7. All right, I'm going to plug it in.
Plug it in.
This might be the end of the podcast.
It's gonna crash.
Plugged it into my Cal Digit.
So bad.
Okay.
Okay. I'll put a screenshot of what shows up.
Install it.
Did you get the installer?
Just install it right now.
Click
See
next.
what happens.
Click continue.
Let's just fire up the wizard. you know?
Okay. macOS 10 install. Do it. Oh, it's
Do
it's
it.
even got the custom
Look
icon.
at it. It looks like it. That's cool. That's cool that it still
that's
does
very
that.
nice.
Double click it.
Okay, I'm going.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Install
Press it.
macOS 10
Come on,
Lion
install
app.
it. You coward. Install it. You
Steven, are
coward.
you one of those people that shows the app? Oh no, you got an error.
Wow. You know what, Stephen? Appreciate that you actually clicked it, you know?
Wait, what's the error message saying? This version of macOS 10 is too new to run install macOS 10 from macOS 10 10.7. What?
I feel like at some point that has gone around on itself, you know? Like there's like a double negative in there somewhere.
10.
This version of macOS 10 is too new to run install macOS 10 from macOS 10.7.
What?
So I think what they're saying is this version of macOS 10, which I'm running, it's not called macOS 10 anymore, is too new to run the application install macOS 10 from the volume macOS 10 10.7. But that's a hot mess of a sentence.
That's words in English.
Well, I thought it might have meant that you could only run it from macOS 10.7.
I don't know. It's very confusing.
Bellroy have launched a new Apple iPhone.
My word.
Have you guys heard about the Apple iPhone?
I know the Apple iPhone.
The Apple iPhone? The Mac phone. They've released a new Mac phone, iPhone 15 Pro. Jeez. That mountain lion thing has thrown me off. Now I'm the mountain lion, right? Like I'm doing this, just saying things over and over again.
The mountain lion is coming from inside the house.
Has released an iPhone 15 Pro case that has an actual button for the action button. And I just wanted to see if this actual action, if this excited the two of you. And I wanted to maybe check in on your cases and also if you're still using the action buttons.
That's too many questions. Pick one.
Question number 1. Are you still using the action button? Okay, I went with the non-obvious question.
Yes.
What are you using it for now?
Multi-button, still the same. I got by default, creates a new task in things. And if I press it again, runs Apple frames.
Yep.
And I'm still working on finishing up an update to the shortcut that when you run the action button inside a compatible app, it does something else.
Okay.
So if I run the action button when I'm using things, it brings up a menu to do stuff with the selected task.
Stephen, what's your action button doing right now?
It is tied to a shortcut that just gives me a text field, and whatever I put in the text field becomes a task name for Todoist's inbox, and it's automatically due today. But in the 17.2 beta, anytime I try to use this, but then try to dictate into it, it crashes. So
Nice.
I need to work on that.
Good. That's really good. I think that tasks is the best thing for the action button, like adding to your to-do list. I think, Federico, that was a genius idea that you had, like a brainwave, and it 100% played out to be correct. What are the two of you using for cases now, and are you happy with your cases, and is the Bora case good?
Still the Nomad one, Nomad leather case, holding up perfectly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're using the Horween leather one, right?
Yeah, because I hate the environment, yes.
Wow.
No. It's not what I was getting at. I was just saying you were using the fancy one. They're both leather, right?
Yeah, I'm using the fancy one. Real bad for planet
Which one
Earth.
is it?
The
Modern leather case, right? They call it, I think.
I have no idea. They sent an email saying, hey, we have iPhone cases, and I clicked buy.
I have the non-Horween leather, so the less expensive Nomad case. And yeah, I love it. It's like the Apple leather case, but better. And it's held up great. You're still caseless?
Oh, of course. I like to live my life. You know?
I have thought about, like, what would it be like to use the fine woven case for a year? But I don't think I'd make it.
I was with a friend the other day who uses the fine woven case, and they've obviously had it on for, I don't know, a couple of months. Look real bad. I didn't say anything to them, but
who was it?
At that case.
Somebody we know?
I won't, yeah. But I'm not going to say. And it was real bad. It looked terrible. It really looked bad. It looked like the whole case had faded, is what it looked like.
Oh my God.
It did not look good to me. I mean, if you're enjoying your fine woven case, you know, go wild, you know, go woven crazy over there. But like, I don't think it looks good. You know, I think that it doesn't look good. And yes, I am relitigating the fine woven drama. You know.
It is the holiday season, boys. You know what that means?
Ho, ho, ho.
Discounts, baby! You can go to giverelay.com and you can get 20% off any annual plan across the network. So maybe you really like Connected and Connected Pro has interested you. And like, you know what? I would like to hear longer ad-free versions of the show. You can get 20% off the whole year. Or Automators or MPU or Cortex, a whole bunch of other shows. So you can go to giverelay.com and check it out. 20% off runs until December 15th. And you can use it more than once. You can send yourself a gift. There's a way to do that here as well.
Others gifts. Maybe
you can send other people
someone
gifts.
in your life's like, what shall I get you for Christmas? And you'd be like, here you go. And you send them the link to giverelay.com because this will be all the way up until December 15th. So lots of gift-giving opportunities are available for you there. And then you can get, say for Connected, this show that you're listening to, longer ad-free episodes of every single episode of Connected, plus a ton of bonus content that we put out with many of your favorite hosts and crossover episodes or interview episodes. Me and Stephen do a monthly show called Backstage where we talk about what's going on behind the scenes at Relay FM. You get access to the internationally famous and multi-award-winning Relay FM members Discord. Did you know about those awards, by the way?
You say awards, like prizes?
Multi-award-winning, yeah. We have won multiple awards for our Discord because it's so good.
Yeah, the Discordies, I think is what those are called.
We've won multiple awards because it's such a good Discord. There are lots of wallpapers. Stephen, how many wallpapers or how big is that wallpaper file now? It's huge,
let me
right?
look. Relay
There's
FM
so many
admin.
wallpapers. Every time there's like some fun custom art on a show, we make a wallpaper out of it. There's so much fun stuff there. It's available for you, and you can get it for 20% off by going to giverelay.com.
It's 180 images.
That's a lot of images. Some could say too many wallpapers.
It's desktop and mobile, so it's 85 each.
But still, some would say that's too many. But if you have 85 screens, we have an individual wallpaper for each one of them now. You can go to giverelay.com, or you can just sign up for any show on an annual plan and use the code HOLIDAYS2024 at checkout.
The Discordies. We're going to win again.
Yeah, we're going to crush it.
It's going to be awesome. Take that, Club Mac Stories.
That's unfair. Club Mac Stories also won some awards.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Congratulations, Club Mac Stories
Thank you.
Discord.
Thank you.
You do have the coolest membership name out of anybody. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Ours is just the Relay FM membership because we're going to go with a cool name.
Well, because there's so many names within the name, right?
I have some bad news.
Okay.
So some long-term follow-up, really. We've talked about HomePods before. Federico has had many and sold many and bought many more over the years. What is your voice assistant of choice at the minute, Federico?
My voice assistant?
Yeah. Like, are you using Amazon stuff, using HomePods? What are you using right now?
I use the HomePod primarily. I have the Amazon Echo in the living room, but I only really use it to turn on the outdoor lights and close the shutters or open them in the morning.
Okay.
Is that so you can speak in Italian and don't look silly in front of your friends? Yeah, okay,
Yep.
fair enough. That is a genuinely good reason. But I just wondered what the difference was. Because obviously I know all these things are HomeKit. So
yeah, as soon as Siri becomes multilingual, but I'm gonna get rid of that Amazon Echo.
The third of my 3 original HomePods has died. I'm now 0 for 3 on my original units.
I have 2 of them. They're still fine. I've repurposed them here at the studio. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. I've gotten, we're talking about in the MPU forums the other day, like people are all over the place. Some people's have lasted forever. This one that just died was in the kitchen, got the most use of the 3 by far and lasted way longer than all of them. But it died. So I replaced it with the navy blue HomePod Mini and it's fine.
So how many HomePod Minis do you have now?
Bedroom, kitchen, 2 in the studio, and then we have a kind of a floating one on that battery dock that Federico brought to the show a while back.
It's quite a lot of HomePod Minis.
So 5.
That's a lot of HomePod Minis.
They're great though. I mean,
yeah,
they're great. They don't sound like it doesn't sound as good as the full one did in the kitchen, but I wasn't gonna go buy another full size one. So the mini it is.
Sorry for your loss.
This episode of Connected is brought to you by Masterclass. When you learn something new, it just feels good. Myke, tell me about your experience with Masterclass.
So my favorite masterclass that I have taken was from Sir Lewis Hamilton, my role model, hero of mine. He's a Formula One racing driver. And I really look up to Lewis. I find his story to be inspiring, and that is kind of what I took the most away from his masterclass on kind of the winning mindset, is what he calls it. So like how to get yourself into the position where you are able to allow yourself to succeed. And I found it to be really inspirational and really interesting to hear him talk about his story and also how to think about how it could be applied to other people's life experiences too. I really loved it. It was awesome.
Masterclass makes a meaningful gift this season for you and anyone on your list because both of you can learn from the best to become your best, from leadership to effective communication to cooking and so much more. Whether you're watching Masterclass on your TV, listening in audio mode in the app or on the website, the quality speaks for itself. The masterclass instructors are there to help you reach your next level. And it's a lot more cost effective than paying for one-on-one classes from the world's best, because with the masterclass annual membership, it's just $10 a month. That means memberships start at $120 a year for unlimited access to one-to-one classes with all 180 plus masterclass instructors. And when you're scrolling through the site, there's some very impressive names on this list. Over 180 classes to choose from, and new ones are added every month. With Masterclass, you too can boost your confidence and find practical takeaways that you can apply to life and at work. And if you own a business or lead a team, why not use Masterclass to empower and create future-ready employees and leaders? This holiday season, give one annual membership and get one free at masterclass.com/connected. Right now, you can get 2 memberships for the price of one at Masterclass, MasterClass, masterclass.com/connected. Of course, that link is in the show notes. Offer terms apply. Our thanks to Masterclass for the support of the show and Relay FM. It's Q&A time. It's a holiday week. We thought this would be a fun break from kind of the normal tech stuff. And honestly, people are only talking about OpenAI, and it's impossible.
Yes, you've already heard that conversation 1,000 times, so we're not going to have it.
Yeah, we're not going to have it on this show. We're going to do some Q&A, and I'm going to start with a question from Ava. Ava asks, what is each of your favorite Apple products, hardware or software, of all time?
I have a short list of contenders, and I'm hoping that in speaking them aloud to you, I might be able to pick mine. So iPod mini, because it's awesome, and it's what drew me to Apple. I had a pink iPod mini that I loved. The iPad mini is just awesome. It's just the best, right? Like over all of its iterations, I've enjoyed that product a lot, and it's really good at what it does.
Mm-hmm.
The M2 MacBook Air is my favorite Mac of all time, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max is my favorite iPhone. And I know that it's like it's the newest iPhone, but the newest iPhone isn't always my favorite iPhone. Like the iPhone 14, kind of boring. Wasn't a big fan of it, right? Looking at this list, the iPod mini would just be pure nostalgia, so I don't think I'm going to go there. I think I'm going to go iPad mini. I think it's like, for me, the best of all of the things that I like about Apple products, and so I think I'm going to go there. I'm going to say the iPad mini is my favorite Apple product of all time.
I had this list in mind, two hardware devices and a software entry. So I was gonna go with iPad Pro, AirPods, and shortcuts in my short list. For obvious, iPad Pro because of course, shortcuts. Also, I don't think I need to explain this, but AirPods. And I'm not referring to any generation in particular here, but just the idea of just how much I've been using AirPods since their introduction 7 years ago.
Multiple hours a day.
Multiple hours a day. How they simply created a market that didn't exist, redefined a whole category. So, and shortcuts, obviously it used to be workflow and then it was acquired by Apple. I am going to go with, I think it comes down to iPad Pro and AirPods for me. And I think I will still pick the iPad Pro as my favorite Apple product of all time, just because of what it did to my life. Like it really showed me the way of what I wanted to do with my career. And for all its problems, I still love using my iPad Pro. Like I really do. So mine is the iPad Pro.
I've got 3 old ones and 1 new one. The first one is purely emotional. The 3rd generation iPod, the one with the red buttons no one liked. My first iPod meant a lot to me to get it, and I used it for a long time. 12-inch PowerBook. Didn't own one at the time, but it's like the super cool notebook from a long time ago. Software, is this more about the idea of the application than the application itself? But Aperture, like a professional photo app from Apple. Aperture had its issues, but I would still like photos to gain some more powerful features. And then the M2 MacBook Air is just so good. The design is awesome. There's really nothing to complain about in that computer. And I had one, and then I went MacBook Pro from my own computer and got rid of the Air, and I miss it. I wish I had room for an M2 Air in my life.
The cracks are starting to form. This is how it begins.
Maybe.
Stephen just needs to verbalize something like that, and then his entire worldview changes.
Also, really like my Mac Pro. Lots of good things. This is a hard question.
Pick one. Pick one.
Third gen iPod.
You picked the worst iPod as the best Apple product ever.
No, the worst iPod was maybe the worst full-size iPod. The worst iPod was the shuffle with no buttons. Come on.
I mean, that was just like its own thing, you know? It's just out there living its life.
Yeah, no one could use it.
It's the humane pin before the humane pin, you know? Like, that's what it was out there doing. It was out there doing that. Kariku wants to know, what did you have for breakfast?
Okay. So mine's a very particular one. So Sylvia and I, we've been following a diet lately. And, okay, so I'm going to try my best to describe this. I believe they're called buckwheat crackers. This 100% like, it's not peanut butter. It's like 100% nuts, sort of, how would you call it? It's not
Spread?
cream. Spread, yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, and that. So just, and a coffee. And actually also like, and a glass of, again, 100% oat milk. That was my breakfast.
You have a glass of oat milk? You should drink oat milk?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never known anybody to do that. I'm sure people do it, but
We found a really good brand that it's just no sugar, no extras. There's a lot of like these oat milks that you can buy at like the supermarket that have either salt or sunflower oil in them. And this one is just water and oats, I guess.
have you considered, like, I know you drink your coffee as espresso, right? Like,
Yeah.
have you considered something like a cappuccino with oat milk
Sylvia does
in the
it.
morning?
Sylvia does it. I don't.
And you wouldn't want to do it?
No, I just prefer
Okay.
them separate.
Yeah.
But
No,
she
I
does
understand
it.
that. It's just because you're drinking the oat milk, it's like, well, you could combine them, but if you don't like
she
it, then
she does it. She does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Sylvia's got the right idea there, to be
Yeah.
honest.
And I take my espresso with just 1 teaspoon of honey. I stopped using sugar
honey.
months ago. Yeah.
Stephen, what did you have for breakfast?
I had a glass of orange juice and like a little oat bar kind of thing.
I don't eat breakfast. I had a latte.
What?
I don't have breakfast. I don't
No,
have
that's
breakfast.
super bad.
So
for
what was
you.
the first thing you ate
No,
today
it's
then?
fine.
Did you have lunch?
I had some, like, they're called Rivita. It's like a rye cracker with Philadelphia cheese spread and a tangerine. That was lunch, and that was at 2:00 in the afternoon, I think. I don't eat breakfast. Breakfast gets on my nerves. Because, look, for breakfast, all I want is things that are bad for me for breakfast. So if I don't have breakfast, then I don't have the things that are bad for me.
Bacon and pancakes. And
Or just like cereal.
sausage and-
So I don't have it.
All right, next up we have Peter. And this question is about me, so I don't know. How
I'm sorry, I didn't order them very well.
Peter asks, how does Federico speak such perfect English? Thank you, Peter. I don't think I do.
You
Lots of practice, I would say, since I was little. Lots of video games, lots of TV shows, lots of books. TV shows and movies without subtitles, and just been podcasting for 10 years at this point. So, I mean, it would be concerning if it hadn't improved. So
Your English is super good, though. Like, your English is basically perfect. Like, listen to me a minute ago. I couldn't even string a sentence together.
Or you had some linen stuck in your throat earlier.
I did. That was the problem, right?
yeah,
I got
but thank you, Peter. Appreciate it.
Nylene asks, what's the
It's
worst...
Nilean. Let me tell
Nilean,
you.
come on. Federico says it all the time now. You
Yeah.
can do this.
Say it again.
Nilean.
Stephen and names. The
I know.
permanent struggle.
It's so bad. They ask, what's
No,
the...
come on. You can do this. You can do this.
This is the
Nilean.
American school system at work
Wow.
here. Okay,
Wow.
Go for it again.
Nilean.
Nilian,
Okay.
Close.
what
Close.
is the worst tech product currently in your possession that you still use?
This is such a good question.
Yes, and it's easy answer for me. The Amazon Echo Show.
Okay, why?
We just replaced it, which was good. Like, we replaced it with the little one. So we had like the old 10-inch one, and we just replaced it with the 8-inch one, which is great because the 10-inch one would just stop working. Like, it would just stop. Like, you'd ask it to set a timer, and it would just restart. Like,
Oh no.
that thing was really struggling. It was like
Yeah.
a 2018 model or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very unhappy. And we just replaced it. The screen is better. It's smaller, which I prefer. If we're going to have it, I would like it to have less counter space. I do not want this product in my life. This is something purely that my wife wants. What I don't like about it is how much crap it puts on the screen. And I know that you can kind of get rid of the crap, but Adina wants a lot of the crap that's on the screen, which are effectively ads for how to do more stuff with the Amazon Echo. But she likes to ask it the questions it prompts to ask, like, what's the dog breed of the day? Which is just like, who the hell cares? You know what I mean? Who cares? Like, who cares what Amazon thinks is the dog breed of the day today? I will say it did ask me the other day to ask it what the Pokemon of the day was, which is, I guess, a real turning point for me. But I don't like this product.
Was it Licky Tongue?
I didn't ask because I refuse. I think that they really dropped the ball. Like, the only thing I like about it is that it shows me images, like from our photos. I upload photos from our vacations to the Amazon photo library thing, and it shows me images. But I wish I could get rid of it. But this is just one of these things that I'm losing. It's a battle I've decided to lose in my house for the sake of harmony in the home.
I'm gonna go with the MagSafe battery pack.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
It's annoying. If you have a Pro Max, it can't charge your phone all the way. I mean, I use it. I keep it charged. I keep it in my backpack. There are times that it has saved my bacon, but it's pretty bad.
I'm going to go with the Apple Magic Trackpad, which I use with my iPad Pro.
Like the external standalone trackpad?
Yeah, the external standalone.
Wow.
One. Have I told you guys what I've done? I don't think I have.
Oh, no.
So,
How many kickstands did you put on the trackpad?
No. Hold on. So, I have this setup that lets me use the iPad Pro with the glasses at night, right? I close the cover on top of the iPad Pro. I use that fake clamshell mode technique that I wrote about months ago. And I can just watch TV shows or read stuff with the glasses. So Sylvia doesn't see anything. But, of course, I still need to control iPadOS. And so I told you guys I got a Magic Bridge from 12 South to hold the Magic Keyboard and Magic Trackpad together. And then I told you that I had gotten from Amazon those glow-in-the-dark stickers for the Magic Keyboard.
The very janky glow-in-the-dark
Very
stickers.
janky. Now, let me tell you, those glow-in-the-dark stickers didn't last long. I hated
I'm not
setup.
surprised about that.
I
to be
couldn't
honest.
stand it. I
Yes.
hated it. I wanted to throw the keyboard out the window.
Would you not like the way they felt?
No, it just felt stupid. It's like, what am I doing here? Why do in 2023? Why am I using a keyboard with glow in the dark stickers on it? Like, it's ridiculous.
Federico. It's a very good question to ask.
Yeah. But I had an epiphany. I realized, there's this company called Satechi, and they make a keyboard that I believe is just about the same size as a Magic Keyboard. And I was right. Satechi, they make a keyboard called the Slim X1, which is a very similar footprint, asterisk, which I'll get back to in 10 seconds, to the Magic Keyboard. And it supports multiple devices, and it's properly backlit. Now, when I say it's almost the same footprint, it was almost the same footprint. So long story short, I modded the Magic Bridge.
Oh, no.
I had to cut some parts and I sanded it down. And it works. Now I have a modded Magic Bridge that I personally sanded down, and it holds the Slim X1 and the Magic Trackpad together. And I think I did a pretty nice job. I smoothed out the corners, and I had to use a knife to cut a bigger hole for the Satechi power button. But it's perfect now. I hate the Magic Trackpad though. I hate the fact that, I don't know if it's because Apple has patents on multi-touch trackpads. I don't know what it is. I hate the fact that there are no Windows equivalents. Like there are no third party trackpads, essentially. Like the Apple Magic Trackpad is the only accessory that exists in its category. And I hate that this is our reality. I still have to use it because I cannot come up with anything else that supports that is not a mouse, right? Because I don't have the space on my lap for a mouse at night. I don't have the surface to put it on. I gotta use a trackpad. I gotta use the Apple Magic Trackpad. I hate the fact that it doesn't support multiple devices. I hate the fact that it charges via Lightning, and I still have to use it. So that's my answer.
So you don't hate the product, you hate the strategy around the product.
The product, yes, I guess that would be a good way to frame it. The product itself is very good. The multi-touch gestures are very good, and it is arguably the best external input device for iPadOS. But I mean, the lengths I had to go, to make this happen.
I'm just glad you didn't have to sand down your trackpad.
Yeah, I hate this product because of the weird things I've wanted to do. That is a very interesting framing on this.
Yeah.
I hate the Magic Trackpad because when I'm in bed at night using my X-Real Air AR glasses, I need to use Lightning.
One day, you will tell me, Tichi, you were right about consuming content via glasses. Today is not that day.
Federico, I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that because you use the X-Real glasses that now you're like a prophet of everyone should use glasses for their content.
I am a digital prophet.
Like this is a thing from a long time ago, like the idea of glasses for content.
Yeah, but I do it in a special way. So
you sure do.
Yeah.
No one's going to argue that.
Oh, Mary's here.
Hi, Mary.
Hey.
Hello.
You have to come talk in the microphone.
Hey, guys.
Does Mary know that that's in the podcast?
She's taking the last calendars to the post office.
I am going to do that.
Enjoy the post office.
Myke says enjoy the post office. Do you have any headphone takes to share with the audience this week?
I was just about to ask, are there any new headphones coming out?
We'll
She's
see.
ready at a moment's notice.
Keep me posted.
We'll get you on the show next time there's some new beats.
Official Beats correspondent, Mary Hackett.
The other night, Mary came in. She's just dragging calendars across the floor. She came in from the garage and she said, "Oh no, I've lost one of my earbuds. It was on my iPad case and I carried it in from the garage." And when I say it was raining outside, it was like a flood. It was raining so hard. Like if you dropped your earbud in the walkway, it's dead forever, right? This is the problem Medina has, just leaving AirPods laying around. I don't know what it is with these people. You got to put it in the case when you're not using it.
I was outside. The case was inside. I only kept one in.
Take the case with you.
So that I can hear you if you need me.
This is a literally real-time follow-up that you're getting.
Yeah.
from
It's
your
actually
wife.
happening. It's like in stereo. This is like
The
stereo
follow-up is happening. The follow-up is
Inside
coming
the
from
house.
inside the house.
Okay, next question comes from Ryan, who says, "Why did you choose to rebrand the show from The Prompt to Connected when you started Relay?"
I don't know, because then Benjamin was gonna sue you.
Okay, do you want to go to the next question? Just leave it there. We'll go to the next question. Federico, short question.
James wants to know, what is your current setup for music listening? Oh boy. Myke, you go first.
So when I'm at the studio, I have just one HomePod Mini. I have my two HomePods, but they're for the TV, and so I just leave them to do that. So I have them plugged into my Apple TV. But really, when I'm listening to music at the studio, I'm only ever doing it when I'm sitting at the desk where I'm like doing my work for the day, and a HomePod Mini on that desk more than suffices, because I also don't want to be a pest and have music too loud. At home, all Sonos, every room, all over the place. Sonos Central over there.
Did you see that they're going to do headphones next year?
I did see that, and I'm intrigued. I'm
actually intrigued too. I am.
I don't think it would be for me, but I also know how good that company is at making products, so I wouldn't rule it out. Like I think it could be very. I'm very interested.
Does Sonos support regular AirPlay?
Yes,
Yeah.
and Bluetooth.
If they had like AirPlay headphones, they could be pretty.
No, they would just do Bluetooth.
pretty
They
sweet.
just do Bluetooth. You don't need to do AirPlay, but I mean, yeah, they could do AirPlay,
Could do
but
it.
they would just do Bluetooth, surely.
So Sonos is going to have headphones out before the AirPods Max get a revision.
That is very possible.
I think it is. Yeah.
That's very possible. I was feeling the lightning hate that you had last night, Federico, when I got my AirPods Max out to charge for going on the plane, and I was like, oh, now I need to find a lightning cable.
Yeah.
So that was good times.
I really dislike that I gotta keep one of these stupid cables around because they're still accessories that use them. Yeah.
We still have them around because Adina needs to charge her AirPods. She has 3 pairs of AirPods Pro. I feel like I don't even know if I need to get into that. And so we're not going to replace hers. We're not buying 3 pairs of AirPods Pro 2 to replace the AirPods Pro. So she's going to have to keep using those for a while, I think.
My simple answer is that I have a HomePod Mini with the portable.
Simple answer.
So I have a HomePod Mini with the portable charging base that we spoke about a few episodes ago. I have AirPods Pro, and I recently, actually it was like a couple of months ago. I've been using them and I really enjoy them. I have the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra wireless headphones. Again, I didn't want to use AirPods Max anymore. I've been trying to get rid of lightning everywhere in my life. And so I really enjoy and I recommend the Quiet Comfort Ultra. I tried the Sony XM5 first and I returned them. I wasn't particularly a fan of the design and the sound. The Bose ones, these came out this summer, I believe. They're excellent. I really, really love them. And they support pairing to 2 devices. That's the simple answer. Just HomePod Mini, AirPods Pro for something super compact, or wireless headphones if I want to have something more with noise cancellation. The more complicated answer is that I have my whole setup over here, and I have a DAC, which is the Matrix Audio X Saber 3. I have a headphone amplifier called the Wells Audio Milo, made in the US. I imported this thing years ago and I love it. And my go-to headphones are the Abyss, the Diana Abyss, and my favorite arguably are the Hi-Fi Man Susvara. These are audiophile headphones. I have my whole setup with Rune running on my Mac Mini server with my personal music library. And I have my comfortable chair here in the office where I can just sit down, listen to music and all of that. But on a daily basis, most of my music consumption is iPhone, AirPods, or the Bose headphones.
So for me, if I'm in the office, it's just the studio display and AirPods Pro for on the go. And then, HomePod Mini scattered throughout the house. This episode of Connected is brought to you by Notion. Notion combines your notes, documents, and projects all together in one beautiful space. And navigating that space is easier than ever thanks to Notion's new feature, Q&A. Q&A is an AI assistant that can answer questions about next quarter's roadmap, find that marketing campaign proposal that you're looking for, or dig up a long-lost link, all in seconds. We've been using Notion over at Mac Power Users. We've had a collection of Google Docs and spreadsheets forever, and we've moved it on to Notion. We have this awesome database we've built out with all of our episodes. We can pull in the sponsors, pull in different topics, and it's working really well. It's so nice to have it all in one place, and it's giving us visibility into things that before were hard to do. So one thing I've done is I imported all of our history of all of our episodes, so I can easily search one page and see, when's the last time we talked about this topic or that topic. It's really made us more efficient over at MPU. And with Notion AI, I can get instant answers to my questions using information from across all the pages, documents, notes, everything in Notion. If you have an urgent question you normally turn to a coworker to answer, just ask Q&A instead. It'll search through thousands of documents in seconds and answer your question in clear language, no matter how large or complex your workspace is. And you can trust that your data is secure because Notion AI is designed to protect your data. No AI models are trained with your information, the data is encrypted, and answers will never use information from pages that you don't have access to. Try Notion AI for free when you go to notion.com/connected. That's all lowercase letters, notion.com/connected to try the powerful and easy to use Notion AI. And when you use our link, you're supporting our show. That's notion.com/connected. Our thanks to Notion for their support of the show and Relay FM. All right. Patrick asks, if you could choose one company to be acquired by Apple, what company would you pick?
Dropbox, because I want it to be good again. And between Dropbox and Apple, they're both making it bad. So let's take Dropbox, make it good again. Let's make Dropbox great again. And Apple's the one to do it.
Enough.
Thank you. Someone had to stop me.
Belkin. So Apple can finally make accessories that make sense.
Belkin's a good one.
That would be
really good. I'm going to go with both of y'all. I think Dropbox and Belkin are both really good answers.
Wow.
I think that's good.
I could hear the stalling when you were saying how good Federico's were. I wasn't expecting you to just straight up bail on the question, but
I don't know. I mean,
appreciate the attempt. You know?
I don't know. Those are both really good.
But thank you.
You were so kind.
We appreciate it.
What has come out of Connected or the prompt that you are the most proud of?
The fact that we never got sued by anybody. I'm keeping with that theme. Yeah. No, actually, I have a serious one. I was really proud when our work was on stage at WWDC with Tim Cook in front of it.
Oh, great answer. Such a good answer. Yeah. That's kind of unbeatable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Timmy.
That was pretty good.
Friend of the show, Tim Cook, for the day, you know? I always enjoy our live shows. 2019 live show was fantastic, and it changed the course of the show forever.
Oh, was it the one with the tattoo?
The one with the tattoo. And it was ridiculous. Probably unlistenable, but I had the greatest time, and I think we unlocked a new form for the show because of that live show. So makes me happy. It made me very happy.
We did something. Something happened in that show.
We did a thing.
I think for me, it's the ability and opportunities we've had to talk to Apple or record at Apple after events, and being invited as press to WWDC and the iPhone event this year. That's a big deal. And I know we all do things beyond Connected, but Connected itself has been part of all those conversations, and that's something I'm really proud of.
We've had a lot of opportunities unique to this show.
Okay, so next question, get ready, because this is a complex one. Zach wants to know, if you could add or change a rule for the Rickies or Flexes without needing to consult your other co-hosts, what would you change?
I have a serious answer.
Okay, let's hear it.
And I think it's something worth considering for some point. I would like to change the risky pick rules so we could actually score points during that round.
I agree.
Ryan later pointed out that the last points scored from a risky pick was in November 2020. So it's been 3 years since somebody scored a point. So I think that this could maybe be something that we consider at some point in the not too distant future, that we change things up when it comes to what's risky.
I have something in mind here.
Okay.
And I think we could potentially more nicely balance the risky picks if we relax the rules a little around a pick needs to basically be totally new and cannot be present at all on any rumor blogs. And I feel like there's potentially something we can do in terms of, because going into Apple events, there's always like something that has been rumored, right? But like that not even 9to5Mac or Gurman are like sure about it. I think we could make a decision and like judge the pick and say, okay, is this risky enough? Like if everybody is saying, look, there's going to be a MacBook Pro at the next event, and it's pretty much a given, then okay, that's not risky. But usually, like this always happens, there's these new leakers and these like sources that you don't hear often, and they get picked up by 9to5Mac or Mac rumors, and they say, well, according to this person, but they don't exactly have an established track record. Now, technically speaking, right now, with the current rules of the risky picks, we cannot use those rumors because technically they have been rumored, even though they are risky because they come from a source with an unproven track record. So I think there's probably something we can do there.
Because we are effectively making things up at this point.
You mean, are you insinuating that I did not have an inside source about the DAC? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that is 100% what I'm saying. Federico, I like this. I think it's going to cause a lot more arguments.
Yes.
But
yes,
I would be down for it.
But also hopefully points.
Yes. And I think one of the key things will be that we will need to provide more detail for these picks than the others.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be down to the details. Well, we will be in January doing the annual picks.
Yeah.
So I think we should maybe, or Stephen, if you would make a note and we can table this for discussion, I would ratify this rule change personally. Because I think we should do it. Because we basically have a whole round that nobody can ever score points in. And so, like, what's the point of the points?
That's a good one. That's what came to mind for me, too. And I saw you had written in the document. I was like, yep, that's the one. I did not realize it had been 3 years since someone got a risky, though. That's wild.
So it's time for a change.
Kate asks, so that OpenAI stuff, huh? We're not talking about OpenAI today.
No.
I do have a hot take, though.
Please, go on.
Yeah.
I would vastly prefer if OpenAI had been absorbed into Microsoft. I feel like this technology is safer in the hands of a big company with more eyes on it than a company that's clearly unstable. The new board is all dudes, which is not good, and is small. I think more eyes and more people working on this is better, and I wish that Microsoft had absorbed it.
Did Microsoft get their seat on the board?
I don't know.
I know they were asking for one.
It's wild to me they didn't have one before. Like, what happened there?
It's the whole nonprofit thing. Look, I agree with you, but I do feel like this whole thing has just meant Microsoft will have a much firmer grip over OpenAI than they did before. I don't think they're going to allow for a situation like this to happen again because this tanked their stock. It was not even right. So, yeah, I can see what you're saying, and I actually think it would have been very interesting if Microsoft would have taken it, but I would be very surprised if they did not have much more power that they could exert over OpenAI now than they even did before.
What a wild weekend, though. I mean, just...
Aaron asked, do you think Vision Pro will impact how you do your work?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that I know will change in my work routine next year because I have all the right conditions to make it an ideal accessory for me. I spend usually all afternoons by myself since Silvia's at work, and I don't have anybody else but the dogs to judge me, and the dogs, they love me, even if I'm wearing a headset.
I like how you that's ideal.
No, it's like the dogs love me, even if I'm wearing a headset, which seems to suggest that there is someone that maybe doesn't when he's wearing the headset.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough. Just checking.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm watching, I was watching For All Mankind with the glasses, and sometimes Silvia, she wakes up in the middle of the night, and a couple of nights ago she woke up, she looked at me, she was like, and she went back to sleep. Just like, she had that look. You know, it's like, this guy.
It's like you live with a comment section.
Yes.
You know? You know, someone's got to keep you in check. You know.
Yeah.
We've clearly failed. So
the answer to this question is twofold, which is like, one, yes, whether we like it or not, but two, like, I am genuinely excited about it. Like, I can't wait. Like, but whether we would want it or not, like, it's going to have to change our work because this is what we do for a living, and so we have to just get with the program. But I'm excited about that program.
What do you think, Stephen?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm honestly nervous that it's going to be a product that's not for me, and that's going to be bad for me career-wise.
I think that's what I'm saying, right? Like, it kind of doesn't matter. Like you could make that choice if you were just a person, right? But you kind of don't really have a choice, right? Like at least for the first year or whatever, you're just gonna have to like deal with it, which isn't nice, but like it's your job, right? Like people want it from you. They want the content. They want that Stephen take.
Yeah, Stephen take is nausea, potentially.
But there will be excluding that part, right? Like if you're able to physically handle it, like people will still want a contrarian take on it, which you'll be able to provide if you're not like into it, but you're still going to have to like absorb yourself in it and like do the thing.
Yeah, time will tell.
Next question comes from CCRNL.
The Colonel. I think it's the Colonel. I think it's Colonel Sanders.
And they ask, on the most recent episode of Analog, Casey said he was thankful for where his computing life is these days. How do you feel about your computing lives at this point in time? I don't know. I love mine. I have, got the iPad, got my glasses. I honestly love where I'm at this point, except for those accessories that I mentioned a few minutes ago.
And maybe iPad hardware.
But
I mean, it's fine as it is. But
it's not like it's
it would be
bad.
more fun.
It's not bad. It's just it's kind of boring because it hasn't changed at all in 5 years. But it's not. I mean, it's the big iPad Pro is a pretty good computer. It's just it's reliable, is what I will say. It's reliable, and sure, iPadOS could do more, but I really do like the combination of what I have right now between the iPad and the studio display when I'm at my desk, and the glasses when I want to use the glasses. And then if you look at I love that I'm surrounded by portable consoles, like handhelds. I love that we're living in a handheld revolution. And even though it's technically not computing, I mean, those things are computers. So yeah, I'm pretty happy, I would say, but really optimistic for 2024. That's how I would describe it.
I'm very happy with where my computing is right now. I have like a very good set of devices, and I'm very content.
Yeah, same. I mean, Apple Silicon has been such an amazing move on the Mac, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max is an incredible phone. Myke, like you said earlier, one of the best ones in a long time. And even things like AirPods, right? Like they're amazing. And I really have nothing to complain about computing-wise at all. Ryan asks, what is your favorite album or song that was released in 2023?
I would like to recommend an album called Bewitched by an Icelandic artist called Laufey. The best way I can describe Laufey's music is it sounds like they stepped into a time machine from the 1950s and then just appeared now. I will recommend a song called From the Start from this album. If you listen to that and like it, you're going to have a good time.
I don't know if I can pick just one. I will go with Song, Now and Then by the Beatles.
Oh.
Just because I love everything about it.
I have a very Federico take on this song, I think.
A very Federico take.
I have not listened to it because the thought of it makes me too sad.
Oh, no, it's a very good song.
I'm sure it is, but just there's something about this song that just the pure idea of the song makes me sad. And I feel like that's almost something that I could imagine you saying, so I have yet to hear it.
Interesting. For album, I am very much torn at the moment. For now, I will go with Boy Genius, The Record. It's up there. If this is not going to be my favorite album of the year, it's probably going to be either... I'm torn between Boy Genius, the new Blink-182, and the new album by The Maine. So it's probably though I'm going to go with Boy Genius.
The new Blink-182 is very good. It's really good.
It is.
And been just like so heartwarming to see them together, for such a long time. But 1989 Taylor version is getting a lot of play in my house. So there's that going on too.
Obviously.
You're allowed to like it.
Yeah.
No shame around here.
No, it feels like you are...
I'm holding out for reputation.
It feels like this album is happening to you.
It is a little bit.
Okay.
But when Reputation comes out, I'll be dead. This episode of Connected is brought to you by Oracle. AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry and literally billions of dollars are being invested, so buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete with costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing, and of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI model at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you want to do more and spend less, like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/connected. That's Oracle, ORACLE, oracle.com/connected. Our thanks to Oracle for sponsoring this show and Relay FM.
Charles asked, if you could have one Apple product gain water resistance, which would it be?
AirPods Pro.
They're not.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, they're like sweat proof, right? Like I think if you dropped them in a bathtub, they're probably done.
Yeah.
Or at least it's one of these things where, because I know people put them through the washing machine
All the time.
I think it's like one of these products. I know like OTJ did it recently for like the 8th time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And he does
True
it a
story.
lot, right? He puts his AirPods in the washing machine a lot. It's one of these things where like maybe you can put it in a bag of rice and it'll be okay, but maybe it won't be. I don't know.
My Lion USB installer is probably not waterproof.
That's probably true. I would choose the iPad Mini because when I take a bath, like Stephen, I like to have an iPad Mini with me and to watch videos, and I'm always worried that I'm gonna destroy my iPad Mini. In fact, the other day I accidentally sprayed it with the shower head, so
Oh no.
it was fine. I was very scared, but it was fine.
Did you do the thing where you started the tub and it was still diverted to the shower head?
Yes, and the shower head was aiming at the iPad.
Oh yeah. I always jump every time I do that. I like jump back and scream a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A little scream. I can imagine you doing that.
And you're not dressed, right? So you don't want to cause a scene, but
I will go with just keyboards in general. Just this has never happened to me, but I always fear the thought of like, oh, I have this bottle of water next to me or this
Yeah.
cup of coffee next to me. What if I like? And this, knock on wood and everything. It's never happened to me, but like I hate that thought.
I have dumped liquid into a laptop and destroyed it.
very early on in Relay's life, you killed a laptop.
No, it was like 3 weeks before the company launched. I destroyed my MacBook Pro. Yeah.
3 weeks before.
My name is T. Once you know.
No, it's Federico.
What?
It's Federico. You said my name is T, but your name is Federico.
Where do you quit a Zoom call again?
If you just command Q, it will get you out.
How do you think your experience of tech compares to the experience your audience has? Do you think you're ever disconnected from what most people think about tech? And if so, does it matter?
I have an answer for this question I've been thinking a lot about. I think the answer is yes and no simultaneously. I think that by and large, we have access to much more technology than most of the people in our audience would
Yes.
even bother to
Yes.
have, right? Either by choice, like because most people don't want to have all of the technology in their lives that we have, or we just have the resources to be able to acquire it, whether financially or borrowed or whatever, right? But I feel like if I didn't prioritize having access to technology, my shows about technology would be boring.
Yeah.
Like, I think that no matter what people might say or think, if we did not have the new iPhones every year, we would not be able to intelligently talk about what is going on at Apple. So we're kind of locked in. And I prioritize technology purchases over other purchases for this reason. So like there are things where I'm like, oh, I won't buy this or I won't buy that because I know I'm going to have to save up to get this thing. And so as well, like coming up with weekly content is hard, and having access to new products really helps us do that and do our jobs. Like, and I understand that like it means that we are off kilter with the people that listen to the shows, but like you can just listen to us and choose if you want this technology or whatever, or make your own life choices. But as technology entertainers or journalists or writers or whatever you'd like to call us, we need to use the technology, have the technology, and be able to talk about it. And if we don't prioritize access to these products, I don't think we're doing our jobs effectively, personally. So that is my feeling.
I have an opinion here to build upon what you just said, which I agree with completely. And the thing is, sometimes I hear people say, "Oh, I want to read," and I think I've said this before on the show. Sometimes I see these folks ask for finally a normal perspective, like an average person perspective. And I see these people sometimes clamoring for a blog or a podcast from regular people. And see, the thing is, that's the kind of idea that works on paper, but I would actually bet money on this, that you wouldn't really want a podcast or a blog from someone who doesn't do this for a living. And see, the thing is, what we do, whether it's, categorized as entertainment or information or a combination of the two, ultimately people come to us, and we're really grateful that they do. But I think if you really think about it, at the end of the day, it's a very transactional thing where people come to you because they're either looking for escapism or they're looking for information, or again, a combination of the two, right? I want to think about something else, and in the process, I also get informed about what's going on. And so I feel like once you lose that, right? Once you lose that person who's very different from you and does this for a living and has all the latest gear and all the latest devices and is really into Apple, if you lose that, you ultimately lose the audience, because nobody wants to listen to a podcast by my mom, And I use my mom, could be my friend, could be my neighbor, could be just someone who does something else in their life. You will maybe listen to an episode and be like, "Oh, this is a really fascinating perspective," but imagine coming back every single week. And they're like, "Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm still using an iPhone 11, and I guess now they're doing the action button. Who knows? I don't care." So, yeah, I think we do have, my name is T, we are disconnected from the rest of the audience, and that's exactly why it works.
I think y'all summed it up really nicely. I mean, I often compare what we do to like sports journalism. I think there's a lot of parallel there, right? Where we do, because we've been doing this a long time and worked really hard at it, we do have access to things and to people and to conversations that not everyone does. And it's our job to portray and to share those conversations and our opinions on things each week, right? And it is hard each week. But, I see this feedback a lot. I see it a lot with MPU, and I do struggle to understand it, because it's if what we are doing is like a journalistic endeavor, and I think it is to a degree, right? There's always a mismatch there, right? There's always someone who has the information or the opinion and sharing it with other people, and that with it comes some level of disconnect. And I don't think that's bad. Now, I think it's got to be, I think we have to pay attention to it. I think we have to keep tabs on it. I think if we, were, I don't know, something like flying around on private jets at WWDC and, really disconnected with how normal people are, that would be a problem, right? But because we just cover technology, right? Like the three of us, and I think almost everyone we work with, like we're just normal people in the rest of our lives, right? Like we worry about the same things everyone else worries about. We have families, we have partners, we have, aging parents we worry about. Like the rest of our lives is, I think, very typical. It's just in this one area, we've been fortunate enough to take an interest and turn it into a career. And with that comes some weirdness. But I think in general and overall, I think we're doing a pretty good job at staying grounded in that, while also taking advantage of the opportunities we have to make the best content we can.
Or the other way to think about it would be, would you go to a restaurant run by someone who sometimes cooks?
I just want a regular cook.
I just want. Hey, why don't we have restaurants run by regular people that sometimes eat frozen food and sometimes
There is
they
also
cook?
like the regular person argument kind of doesn't. That person doesn't even exist anyway,
No.
because like inherent in wanting to write a blog or start a podcast, they're no longer a regular person.
Yup.
Like they already have an increased interest in technology, like
Yep.
rather than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that the cook argument is like perfect. That is regular person's kiss, you know?
Mm.
A asks, Apple gives Mac detachable touchscreens but kills the iPad. Are you happy or sad?
Sad.
Because for you, the iPad's about the software
Yeah, I think I'd be sad.
and the flexibility of the hardware.
I think I'd be sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want iPads more than I want touchscreen Macs.
It just be sad because it means it was a decade long experiment that didn't work out.
Ryan asks, do you regret creating a plan of succession?
Wait, we have one?
Triple J.
Oh, that's not a joke?
No, I mean,
Oh.
it is a succession plan, but there's no regret because nothing's ever come of it. Like, they're
No.
just there in case we ever need them, and nothing's ever happened. But, like,
I thought it was more like an sort of off the cuff, like, oh yeah, those guys are our successors.
maybe we need to talk about the succession plan again.
Yeah.
I just read a quote from Tim Cook, who was on Dua Lipa's podcast, which is just like a sentence that I've just said that I kind of can't believe I just said.
Yeah.
And he was talking about that they have like very deep succession plans at Apple, which you'd obviously assume him to say, but that he has no intent, like no desire, or like he doesn't want to go anywhere. Basically, like he's all good, he's set, and he's happy. So
John Turnus is just waiting in the wings then.
oh, and he was ready, and he's, you know, he's ready. He can't wait.
And finally, we have reached the end of this Q&A episode. Brands wants to know, since Relay began, what is the longest amount of time any of you have kept a single Mac for?
I had my iMac Pro for I think like 4 years. That might be it.
Yeah.
That was a long time product for me.
I had my Mac Pro for a little over 3 years. And I would have kept it longer, but it was I need to sell this before it's worth nothing, because this is a business and I do have to pay the bills, and I didn't have the luxury of letting it depreciate longer than it did.
I think mine was either the MacBook Air that I kept for a very long time from 2013. I mean, it's up there. It's 5 years. I think I had the MacBook Air for 5 years, and then I had the Mac Mini. I used the Mac Mini as my main Mac from 2018 to this year, to 2023, so 5 years, until I got a MacBook Air with M2, and the Mac Mini became my home server. So it's one of those two. Usually 5 years would be the span of my computers.
Well, thank you all.
We have had some cues.
Yeah. We answered some questions. We got introspective. I feel just really weird now, but it's over. If you want to find links to the things we spoke about, they're on the web at relay.fm/connected/477. Don't forget, we are running our annual membership sale. It's 20% off any annual plan between now and December 15th. You want to go to giverelay.com to sign up. Thank you all who have already done it, and thank you to our members who are with us throughout the year. It means everything to us that you choose to support us directly. You can find us all online. Myke hosts a bunch of other shows here on Relay FM, and go check out his work at Cortex Brand. You can find Federico's writing at macstories.net, and you can also find him on other various properties, App Stories, Remaster. Federico's all over the place. You can also follow those guys, of course, on Mastodon. Federico is Vitici at macstories.net, and you can find Myke there as IMYKE, iMyke, at myke.social. You can find me on Mastodon as ISMH at eworld.social. I host Mac Power Users here on Relay each and every Sunday, and I write over at 512pixels.net. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Masterclass, Notion, and Oracle, for making this episode possible. And until next time, guys, say goodbye.
Arrivederci.
Cheerio.
Bye, y'all.